I'm Olek Novak, this is Chasing Cars, and this is the all-new Audi SQ6 E-Tron. This is one of the first examples to land on Aussie soil. We are checking it out today. Now, the SQ6 E-Tron is the top of the range of the all-new Q6 E-Tron electric mid-size SUV range, and it's a very important new model for Audi because it is the first Audi to debut on the brand's new PPE electric architecture. Now, that platform was jointly developed with Porsche and underpins the new Porsche Macan. So this is a really crucially important new platform. The technology from it is going to filter down through other models in the Audi range, both electric and also internal combustion as well. In this video today, we're going to tell you all about the lineup in Australia, what you can buy for the Q6 and the SQ6 E-Tron in Australia. We're going to tell you how it's going to be priced. We're going to take a look at the exterior and the interior. But before we do all of that, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell below. Chasing Cars, honest reviews of your next car.
Brought to you by
Budget Direct.
So before we take a look at the exterior, let's chat the range and lineup first. There's going to be 3 variants of the Q6 E-Tron available in Australia at launch. Now that includes a Q6 E-Tron Performance, a rear-wheel drive model. Then there's going to be a mid-spec Q6 E-Tron Quattro dual motor, all-wheel drive, and then topping the range, we've got this, the SQ6 E-Tron, the performance version of the lineup. Now, importantly, Audi has just announced pricing today, so the range will start at $115,500 before on-road costs for the entry-grade model, and it's going to extend all the way up to $150,000, just a bit over that, for the SQ6 E-Tron that we've got with us here today. Now, the Q6 E-Tron is going to complete Audi's mid-size electric SUV lineup. So it's going to sit between the Q4 E-Tron and also the Q8 E-Tron in the lineup, competing with vehicles like the BMW iX3 and also the Mercedes-Benz EQB. And it also continues with Audi's new naming conventions of evenly numbered vehicles denoting electrification and odd vehicles denoting internal combustion. Now, let's chat through some stats. The Q6 E-Tron features a 100 kWh gross battery and is built upon 800 volt architecture, which Audi says enables a maximum DC charging capacity of 270 kilowatts for the dual motor variants, enough for a claimed 10 to 80% charging time of 21 minutes. Range figures have not yet been confirmed by Audi Australia, with representatives telling us that the Q6 E-Tron is still undergoing a homologation process with WLTP range figures to be confirmed for Australian specifications at a later date. In terms of power, the range-topping SQ6 E-Tron has a maximum 380 kilowatts of power, enough to deliver a claimed 0 to 100 km/h sprint of 4.3 seconds with launch control mode. Alright, so let's have a look at the exterior design of the Q6 E-Tron, or the SQ6 E-Tron we've got with us today. Now, today at the launch, the Audi team told us that the designers for the new Q6 E-Tron, they wanted it to look, one, like an SUV, but also like an Audi. So I think they've succeeded in that element. Definitely looks like an SUV, definitely looks like an Audi. You've got a lot of signature elements over here, such as the grille, or, well, it is a closed-off feature now that this is an electric vehicle, but they've still gone with that traditional kind of Audi single ring grille shape here, but it is all filled in. We've got Audi's new 2-dimensional type corporate logo at the front over here, and some very cool DRL daytime running lights, matrix lights, which have lots of configurations in terms of how they light up, which you'll probably be able to see in some B-roll footage right now. So they're quite cool, and we've got some of the actual lights under here as well too. If we move along the side of the vehicle, being an SQ6 E-Tron, we've got all the traditional kind of silver elements on the vehicle too. We've got some 21-inch wheels here on the SQ6. The electric vehicles in Audi's range also have this cool kind of feature running across here as well, this blacked out feature as well, which is quite nice, with a nice E-Tron badging embossed into the vehicle there too. Okay, so let's check out the cabin of the Q6 E-Tron, and I've seen the new generation Audi interiors on video with the multiple screen kind of design, but I have never been in one. And I'll be honest, when I saw the multiple screen design, I was kind of like, oh, because Audi generations of a few generations ago were really the epitome of luxury car interiors, built really solidly, not overboard with tech. So I was always a bit nervous seeing the amount of screens in here, because you've got this big dual screens which houses a digital instrument cluster in front of you, and then also this infotainment screen, and then there is a third screen over here for the passenger. but in person it actually presents quite nicely. It's nice how the screens do wrap around you, and overall it doesn't feel too in your face because the cabin does feel relatively nicely designed. So the digital instruments in front of you, they look to have quite a lot of customization, which is quite good. The infotainment screen, from the minimal quick usage that I've had with it, it seems pretty fast and responsive as well. And the good thing is, because there's no kind of traditional rotary controller here anymore, which I did actually really like. So you are now using the screen in its entirety, and it is actually quite easy to reach. So it's not like you have to bend forward like I find with a lot of screens. So that is a good thing about it. Unfortunately, no physical climate controls. They are baked in here in the screen, so they are always there, which is good. And there is some nice clicking sounds, at least, to give us a tiny bit of feedback when you do press buttons as well. Apart from that, the interior overall feels pretty well built, like you'd expect from an Audi, so that's good. The steering wheel is very nice, although it is that kind of squircly design, which I'm not sure I like, but it looks quite nice. Obviously, I'll judge the Squircle design when we can actually go for a drive, but other than that, it's quite good. There's some decent amount of storage. You've got a storage bin over here, which is lined, which is quite nice. You've got a glove box over here, which is good. A lot of gloss black over here, so that might get a bit fingerprinty over time, but manufacturers continue to use it, so I guess that is what it is. You've got some cup holders over here as well, and a bit of space over here for storage with 2 USB-C connections over there. The good thing is you do get a rotary physical volume control over here, and you've got some quick shortcut buttons for the drive mode selector, which is good, so you don't just have to use the screen over here. And obviously you've got the little transmission selector over here too. As well as that, you do have a little control command center over here as well, that you can control the door lock, the mirrors, the seating positions and such as well. Naturally, being an SQ6, this vehicle is spec'd with everything. So the materials are a bit nicer. You've got nicer Napa leather seats as well, with this cool kind of stitch design in them as well, and some S badging as well as this panoramic sunroof too. And then of course, on all variants standard on the Q6 E-Tron, the SQ6 E-Tron, you've also got the screen for the passenger too, which the driver can't see when the car is running. Is that screen overload? Let us know in the comment section what you think below. It's pretty easy to interact with. I guess there might be some advantages in terms of the passenger might be able to help out with maps and things like that. Do we need it? I don't know, I'm not sure. I guess we'll wait to see when we go for a vehicle, for a drive in the vehicle to find out. But yeah, let us know your initial thoughts on that. At least it is nicely integrated into the dash, so it doesn't feel, while it is extremely screen heavy, it doesn't feel too screen heavy. Anyway, let's check out the back. All right, in the back of the SQ6 E-Tron, it's actually, the headroom is quite good. So for me, at 6 foot, I feel like I've got a decent amount of space. Tow room, oh look, that's okay. I guess knee room behind my own driving position is okay. It's not enormous, but it is okay. Other than that, it's pretty good. Sitting in the middle seat, look, it was a bit tight when I tried it out earlier. There's a tiny little tunnel over here, but it's not that noticeable, but I think really easier for 4 people in the back of the SQ6 E-Tron. You've got air vents over here. You've got 3-zone climate control. You've got heated outboard seats as well. So there's some decent luxuries here for rear seat passengers. You've also got a fold-down center armrest with 2 cup holders over here, and overall build quality is still pretty good at the back. It's still maybe a bit hard over here for a 150 grand car, but overall decently spec'd for rear seat passengers. You've got some map pockets here behind either seat as well, and visibility isn't too bad, probably helped by the light coming in through the panoramic sunroof, which is good. But let's check out the boot space. All right, let's check out the boot space in the back of the SQ6 E-Tron. It opens up with the electric power tailgate to reveal just over 500 litres of boot space. If you were to fold the rear seats down 40-20-40, that would reveal about 1,500 litres of boot space. There is a slight ramp up there, so it's not a completely flat floor. You don't get a spare wheel. You get extra space over here to hold all the charging cables and such. There's some compartments either side. There's a net that you can use. And because this vehicle comes standard with air suspension on the SQ6, you've got a button over here which can lower the vehicle, which is great if you want to load bulky items and such. So that is a cool aspect of having the air suspension. And being an EV, you also get a 64-litre frunk as well for additional storage space in the front of the vehicle. So that's an important thing to note. But now let's chat about some other important key aspects of the Q6 E-Tron and the SQ6 E-Tron in Australia. The Q6 E-Tron will officially launch in Australia in early 2025, and a sportback body style is also slated to join the SUV variants later in 2025 too. Now that's our first very initial look at the Audi Q6 E-Tron on Aussie soil. The real test is going to be when we can take it for a drive in Australia to see what this new PPE platform does for the Q6 and the SQ6 E-Tron. So we look forward to doing that, but in the meantime, let us know what you think. Do you like the design? Do you think it looks nice? What do you think of the interior with the 3-screen layout? Do you think it represents good value with its pricing, or is it too expensive? And which variant would you go for? Would you go for the SQ6 or would you go further down the range? Let us know in the comment section down below. While you're there, make sure to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and give us a follow on TikTok and Instagram too. And as always, thank you for watching Chasing Cars.